2019. My name is Rob Ketch. We're here in the Fishman booth, and we have Jeff Moore from ESP Guitars today. Good afternoon, Jeff. How you doing?
Hey, Rob. Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
You bet. You bet. Well, today we're going to have a little bit of a chat about how ESP and Fishman work together in the creation of some of the great instruments that we're going to look at. And then I want to make sure we spend a minute to highlight some of the new guitars that are here at the show. And, you know, in addition to the pickups, we want to talk about the appointments and what's cool about them in general. So
right on.
I'll, you know, Jeff, if you'd like, you can speak a little bit to the history and the working relationship. So,
well, Rob, you and I have known each other for decades, but
yes.
we won't go that far back.
Exactly.
As far as working together at ESP, I remember we were using a competitor's pickup in some of our acoustic products,
Yes.
and you know, I just said, "Why aren't we using Fishman?" Didn't get a real straight answer about that, and I said, "Well, let's start using Fishman." So we did.
Yeah.
So we started doing some acoustical products, and still do.
Yeah, for sure.
No brainer. You know, Fishman's the leader. And when word got out that you were coming out with a electric guitar pickup, obviously we all were kind of excited and curious to see what that was all about.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, we were certainly an early adopter of the technology and the product, and here we are still working together on some cool stuff.
Yeah, no, it's been a bunch of guitars, a lot of very cool artist guitars, and you know, the evolution continues right here to the present day with some things that are making their debut at Winter NAMM. So, Jeff, if you want to tell us a little bit about the guitar in your hands and some of the appointments, I'd love to check that out.
So this is the EC-1000 CTM full thickness Eclipse that we just announced at the show.
Mm-hmm.
And what's cool about this is it's a full thickness Eclipse as opposed to the thinner profile that most people are accustomed to when they look at ESP.
Sure.
So the full thickness, yet doesn't have that bulk or heaviness that's associated with
A single cut.
the single cut guitar. So it's still lightweight, very comfortable, very balanced. As you can see, this particular model, we went with a very traditional looking flame top burst.
Jeff, you know what? Let me hold your microphone for
yeah,
you. That way
okay.
you can walk around the guitar. It'll be a little easier.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got a really traditional burst on here, which
Yeah.
is just absolutely beautiful. And we went with a satin finish at this time, just
Yeah.
something different.
It's
and
tasty.
A lot of people just appreciate not just the satin finish on the back of the neck, but the whole guitar. And I think it just has a really classy look.
Yeah, it's very warm
Yeah,
looking.
yeah.
It's beautiful.
And then I've always been a fan of open coil design pickups.
Sure.
And it just so happens that Fishman happened to come out with a new line of open coil
Yep.
pickups that you introduced to us earlier in the year.
Yes, sir.
And I think I'll let you kind of talk about
Yeah.
what makes these pickups so special, but it was just a natural way to go for this type of design. And,
Sure.
you know, not only do they look great, but they sound pretty amazing.
Awesome. Awesome.
And yeah, this is the
Cool.
this is we're really excited about this model, and we really appreciate the opportunity to partner with Fishman.
You bet. Well, on the pickups, which we call open core, that is our classic humbucking pickup. So different than the modern pickup, which is featured in many of the ESP guitars, our classic pickup is targeted at the hard rock player, the classic rock player, the blues rock player, the session person, whereas our moderns, honestly, they're targeted more at the metal or prog metal type player. So an application of the technology that gives you all the fluence benefits, all the clarity and the articulation, but you know, for a different kind of player, much like all the sensibilities of this guitar spread the reach a little bit. So what's cool with these is our classic open cores have 3 switchable voices in them. So voice 1 looks and sounds very much like what you would expect out of this type of guitar. It's a beautiful low output humbucking tone. It sounds great clean. Voice 2 is a hot-rodded version of that sound, so it hits the amp a little harder. It's nice for solos or heavier music. And then the real secret weapon of this set is our Voice 3, and that's an optimized single coil sound.
Right.
So you can literally go from, Highway to Hell to Sultans of Swing, sort of with the pull of a switch, and get a very credible and usable single coil sound. So makes an instrument that covers all the classic bases, but really brings it forward and adds a lot of versatility. So that one is a killer. I've got another one here, so we'll jump into this guy. This is a brand new KS-6 model, and Jeff, if you don't mind holding my microphone, I'll walk around this guitar.
You got it.
So this is a signature model for the guitarist Ken Susi, who's with the band Unearth, and the KS-7 model has been very, very successful in the ESP range, and this is the companion to that. So it's got all of the same features and specifications of the KS-7, including the Evertune bridge, the reverse headstock, the mirrored pickguard, the silver sparkled finish, and I hope we can see it in the camera, but the pearlite binding is really awesome as well. So this is a beautiful guitar for the 6-string player. And on the Fishman side, this one features our Fluence Modern pickups, right? So Ken of course is a heavy metalist, and these Fluence Modern pickups really deliver in that area. And of course you've got switchable voices here too, so you've got not only out and out metal, but some real nice versatility in colors as well. I know in the studio Ken will use different sounds and create different tracks. So with a very simple guitar, and of course the Evertune bridge for the incredible tuning stability.
Sure.
So it's a beautiful piece. And I think, Jeff, if I remember right, at Winter NAMM, there's actually one more Fluence equipped guitar, and that's a satin purple Stef Carpenter model.
Yes.
So Stef, of course, is a longtime ESP signature artist, and he's also a Fishman Fluence signature artist. So we've collaborated on many guitars for Stef, and the satin purple is super cool. So once again, we are here live at Winter NAMM. If you are in Anaheim at the show, be sure to visit the ESP booth. They've got hundreds of beautiful guitars up there to check out. And Jeff, thank you very much for taking the time today.
Well, thanks for having us, and we appreciate the partnership, Rob, as always. So
you bet.
Really, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you for watching Fishman ESP Guitars. Have a great afternoon.